Thank you very much to all. May I have my slides? Then, well, dear friends first, and distinguished speakers and participants, it's not only a pleasure to be here, to open this conference, but it's just I'm very proud that ISPRA conference is in Florence, is in Italy, after a long way that we started more or less 10 years ago, So I have to say that my very short speech is just about we are really ready for landing when we talk about ISPRA. Where are we landing? This is a major point. I mean, we as an environmental, please go on further away. Next one. May I have something? Yes, okay, that's it. So, as the system, the Italian system, but not only, also mainly at the European level, the environmental protection and research agencies have to deal daily and often in collaboration with others, national and regional institutions, with the geospatial data production, management, and analysis. And I have to say, I have to thank my real good friend, who got the graph, which we started thinking about how we were able to speak each other, to exchange data, to exchange information, to share information. And this was the start of the ISPRA's adventure, if you want. And in its initial phase, the ISPRA directive was focused on interoperability, and I talk about interoperability a while after, information technology and network services standards. Now, ISPRA should further evolve to maximize benefits for society, for environmental policy, for reporting obligation, for urban planning, for risk management, for real-time information. And let's do this because, but the ISPRA directive is still on its way of being implemented in the member states, and where often a plethora of public authorities produce and publish geospatial data, not always with a clear coordination. Like several other state members, EU countries, also in Italy, we have a rather complex and crowded institutional setting. Just to give a glance, just to give a flavor of the situation in Italy, we have approximately 10,000 public authorities from central and local administrations. 5 of them are national mapping authorities, 3 of which belong to the national defense system. And we have 21 regions producing official regional maps. As well, Civil Protection National Service, in charge for forecast, assessment, and management of risk in real time, was, as Ugo is able to recall, it was the first step to apply ISPRA, fully application of ISPRA in Italy. And also just to take the challenge of to use ISPRA for exchanging interoperability and in real time, and not only in the different time. Currently, in Italy, the National Geoportal and the Metadata Catalog are provided by 2 different authorities, while the coordination structure supporting the national contact point is located in the Italian National Institute for Environmental Protection and Research, ISPRA. Well, to improve technical coordination and governance, we have a networking mechanism among the Italian mapping authorities. I mean, we try this way, just to put together what we have and talk together, which include the ISPRA as well, with the participant of the Italian Environmental Ministry and of the Italian Digital Agency. Our aim, the aim of this networking mechanism, is to define procedures for certification, access and sharing of cartography and environmental data, and to agree on operational approaches and working methods. This is relevant, really relevant, also for other settings like Copernicus, EONET, Eurogeosurveys, UN Forum and Global Spatial Information Management, GEOS, and other settings, several settings. But I would like to underline a few points. The problem is that by promising, I like very much this statement, by promising interoperability, which is a magic word, we threw a stone into the sky, which one day may fall on someone's head. As a French colleague underlined recently, is a just statement from a French colleague in a report. I really appreciate this statement, because it's something we have to think about that. In fact, ISPRA will never work if we do not have a clear goal in mind and stick to it. We should not try to turn ISPRA into something bigger than it is, and just to cope with these goals and to be quite concerned about the goal itself. We should try to clear the fog of uncertainty of our complex world through accessible knowledge bases to facilitate the integration in different viewpoints. This is very important. If we want to integrate information useful for policy makers and citizens, for emergency and crisis response, for environment assessment, for planning, monitoring, and reporting, we need the link to link information, not only servers and firmware. So we have this target. It's not just networking in a physical way, but we have to share, to decide how to share our knowledge, our information, our data. This is something really important we have to cope with. Now in Italy, I'm very proud of this point, in Italy we have now a law that envisages a national platform to give access to all geospatial data acquired through public funds or mixed private and public funds. It's meant also to support the development of applications and services based on Earth observation to protect the environment, to reduce risks, and to promote research. It's an act. It's a national act. It's quite a revolution. This is something we still have for the Civil Protection National Service, but we didn't have before. We didn't have for the environmental data and information. The challenge on which we are now working is to turn it into an operational decree. We need another act, or lower level, a decree, and just to make it working. This is just to give a glance at the complexity of the relation between different authorities, agencies, subjects, and other things like that, the data, and within the sharing of the data, the information. Just to give you some examples of really recent examples. One is just in Copernicus field, is about land consumption assessment to the integration of the remote sensing data with in situ data for land monitoring. This is one point we stressed very much in 2003, 2004, 2005 about the use of satellite data. We stressed the fact that the satellite data without in situ data was something useless, was just imaginary, was just a magic behaving of Earth, but nothing useful to measure what is going on Earth. So we stressed very much within Copernicus, at that time GMS, program, just to link the Earth observation from a satellite platform, not only from satellite platform, to the in situ data to the in situ information. And this is something very successful, I believe, in agriculture as well as in urban development, in soil consumptions, in all different behavior of soil consumption. And this is just to put together the coherence between the monitoring, in situ monitoring, and the results from Earth observation from the satellite platform, which is something which is very comfortable, is very pushing us to go further away in these examples. Another is just to mix to different communities the information, the data from different communities, from agriculture and, for example, for geological community, about geological risk and about production in rural area. And putting together, we try to face the problem how we are going to reduce the risk of floods, flash floods, starting from a very good practice and very good intervention above in the hilly area, in the mountains area. And we use just to try to get this goal, we try to mix the two information that get it from the two communities. And ISPRA was very useful, very important, just to make the interoperability of the data and the information born in the two different communities as well. So these are very good examples for us. But I mean, ISPRA, we have to thank ISPRA for another point. We produce several documents, and after we have to make the documents in an operative way, just to make them operative. And I have to thank ISPRA that we are getting more open, as I tried to demonstrate before, and to be more open with our data. And I try to stress the policy of open data as another target that we have to follow and we have to reach in a short time. Thank you for your attention.